Howdy, folks. Welcome to What About Jesus with Gene and Grady. I'm Grady.
I'm Gene.
And I just came up with that intro on the spot.
Did you say hulks?
Howdy, folks.
Folks. Oh, yeah. Since we were just talking about working out, I thought you said howdy, hulks.
Like little hulks and she-hulks.
What a way to start. That's nice way. That's good.
Yeah.
That's a good lead-in.
Really breaks the ice.
We should call more people hulks.
Hey.
Yeah. Or folks, depending on where you live, what part of the country. Yeah. So, yes, glad you could join us as we continue our discussion of the fruit of the Spirit. Sorry, it's been a couple of weeks, but it's been kind of crazy in our world.
Yeah, for sure.
Things seem to have calmed down to where we could focus. So, well, more for him.
Yeah, I know. He's graduated a few seniors.
He wasn't busy at all.
But hey, we're on the other side, and now you know what? Summer's hardly busy at all for youth minister, so we're in a good spot.
Right. Yeah, you can. Man, you're taking vacation after vacation.
I can just coast the rest of the year.
Yeah. Let's see. You're going to take a hiking vacation, a camping vacation.
Yeah.
You got several of those camping vacations, don't you?
All you can eat.
All you can eat vacation. Wait.
All inclusive.
All inclusive. Yeah. I'm sure that's what everybody wants to be a part of is those camping all you can eat.
Yeah.
Reminds me of the first time our father-son camp out. I took a young man. He did all you can eat.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then all you could puke.
Yeah, and he did all he could puke that same night. Yeah. So it was fun. Yeah. So as fruit of the Spirit, Grady, we were, I guess, a couple of weeks ago, we wanted to focus on faithfulness. Mm-hmm. And so when you think about the fruit of the Spirit, because you can't have one without the other.
Right.
So we started off with love. Then joy, because if you don't have love, you can't have joy. And then joy brings about this peace because it's God-given. And without peace, you're never going to be patient.
Right.
Okay? And that patient that teaches you, from that patience, you begin to learn kindness. And then kindness brings about that gentleness. And because of all that within us, it brings about faithfulness because we recognize who we're truly relying on.
Yeah.
So you're sharing this with your youth group, okay? How do you bring this about for them to understand the importance that the Spirit is building faithfulness within them, which I think is, because oftentimes don't we associate faithfulness with like it has something to do with us, okay? But here, it's all about the Spirit.
Yeah.
So talk me through this with your youth group.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we actually talked about this just this past Sunday evening. We had a little Sunday night live, and we talked about the Spirit and how we can use the Spirit as leadership.
Okay.
And also use Spirit as a guidance. And the way we I tried to explain faithfulness to them is look, you can't line up your goals and then implement Jesus into them, or you can't implement the Spirit or God. You can't implement your goals and just say, look, that is Spirit-led. You can't just, say, look, I want this. We can think ourselves into scenarios that are Spirit-led, when in reality, it's just something that we want so bad. We can say, well, if I want it that bad, then God has to want it too, right? And that's not the case. God obviously wants us to be happy. God wants us to achieve our goals, but he wants also our goals in our lives to be Spirit-led. And so, we have to take the time to make sure our actions, our intentions are all in direction of the Spirit, and also we're just letting the Spirit guide us to where we're working through it as this kind of just an ever ongoing dance of a sense, working with Jesus and the Spirit.
Well, that's interesting because, in that same text, he also says later on, let's keep in step with the Spirit. So, yeah, if you could look at it as a dance, as you said, because if we're not in the right step, we're stepping on toes, and everybody's falling over. which I thought that's a good point. I like how you said that, because that makes me realize, because when you're dancing, each of you has to be in step for it to work as you're flowing instead of chopping up the floor.
Yeah, for sure. And and when you're dancing with your partner, you have to be on the same page.
Right.
And so you have to practice. You have to put in the work. You can't just go out there and get on Dancing with the Stars, right? Like you can't. Like that work.
I've seen some of them. Looks like they just did that.
Yeah. And you see how it worked out. For them.
Yeah.
But we have to, again, put in the work on our end. We have to. I tell the kids to find a place to where they can disconnect and connect with God. Whether it's going to a park and sitting on a bench and just looking at nature. Whether it's driving around in your car. Whether it's go somewhere and talk with God, talk with Spirit, and figure out let them know. Just like when we ask for wisdom. And God will grant us that in the same way when we ask the Spirit to guide us. I fully believe that we find ourselves walking in His will.
That's good, because even when Jesus on his last night was sharing with the disciples at that time, and for our viewers, you can find this in John 15, where he says, "Abide in me, and I will abide in you. I am the vine, and you are the branches, and those who abide in me will become more fruitful." So that means if Jesus is truly living within us, then that fruit begins to grow within us. And I think this is the fruit that he's describing, because he shared this with Paul, that when we're in step with Jesus through the guidance of the Spirit, we're going to do the things that Jesus wants. We're going to desire the things that Jesus desires. And by doing so, that increases our faith. And as I often define faith, it's not just believing God can, it's knowing God will. And that's because, like you said, you're in that relationship with Him. And so I like that. So I hope that our viewers, as well as our youth group, will pick up on that and continue to be in step with God by spending time with Him.
Yeah,
that's the only. Because if you, like you said, you can't just all of a sudden say, "Okay, I'm going to dance and go on to the Dancing with the Stars." You have to spend time with that person, and it's like you said, they have to be on the same page. So, when we're spending time with God, then that means we're beginning to be on that same page.
Yeah.
And so
I heard a quote, I think it's from Bob Goff, but he said, if you want to be more like God, do more God things.
Yeah.
And that's what I always preach to those in the youth group. Sometimes there's kids or teenagers that are on the outskirts or maybe are struggling with their face.
I struggle with my face all the time.
Acne's hard. But they struggle with their faith, and I say, get plugged in. Like, come on trips with us. Go on retreats with us. Go to camps. Go to mission trips. Break yourself down and do things that Jesus would do. Do things that are making your mindset on God. And the more you invest, in anything, the more it gets invested back into you. And it's the exact same thing in our faith. Like, our faith isn't blind. We can't just go step by step, but it's prepared. Like, we have to prep our fields. We have to practice and put in the work. And as we continue to, as these teens, or whether it's in our faith journey, as they continue to grow in their faith, they're just going to go closer to God and then just get more confident and find themselves a new faith or new identity through Christ.
I came across a quote that said that a soldier, the more he bleeds on the practice field, the less he bleeds on the battlefield. Or I'm sorry, the more he sweats on the practice field, the less he bleeds on the battlefield. And I thought, that's the same way with us. If we will put in the work, like you said, then when it's time to go to battle, it's God's fight, not ours, and so we're going to bleed less. Yeah. So that's good. Well, I hope our viewers can take this and get connected with God, grow in your relationship, and build and allow the Spirit to grow in you so that fruit can be evident wherever you are. So I pray that God will bless you with his presence and with his strength, and that you will grow closer to him and do God things. So, as Grady said. So I thank you for joining with us. Hit that like and subscribe button as we build our following, and we appreciate you joining with us here on What About Jesus? I'm Gene. I say so long. Farewell.
I say you. I'm Grady. We'll see you later.